I arrived on a Thursday, just before sunset. The GPS was barely working, but the road was clear, a single dirt path cutting straight into the woods, like someone had drawn it with a shaking hand on an old map. The cabin was just as described. Small, low-roofed, covered in moss and shadow. The wood was blackened, like it had been burned a long time ago, but no one had bothered to put out the fire completely. They told me it had been abandoned for over 30 years. That I could stay for a month, rent-free, and take pictures for some obscure mystery magazine. It was a good deal. Too good. I didn't sleep that first night. Not because I was afraid. There was nothing to be afraid of. It was just too quiet. No crickets. No owls. Not even the wind. Just the cabin. The walls creaked in a way that didn't feel structural. It sounded more like the house was stretching after a long sleep. The next morning, I started exploring. I took some photos. I found a locked door. The basement. I didn't force it. Not yet. The next day, I found a journal in the desk drawer. Old and yellowed, but the ink was strangely fresh. The cover simply read, "For the one who comes after." I stayed up all night reading. The last pages were messy. The handwriting got shaky, like whoever wrote it had started trembling. "The shadows only come at night, but they stay in the walls during the day. Do not open the basement door, no matter who knocks. It's not silence. It's a presence pretending to be silence." I chuckled. Probably just someone trying to scare the next guy. But that night, at exactly 3:33, I heard 3 knocks on the wall. Things started to shift. The back room didn't always seem the same size. On Monday it looked short. On Tuesday, deeper. I put a book at the end of the table. It vanished. The next day, it was stuck to the ceiling. I took pictures with my phone. When I reviewed them, I saw shapes, figures, someone standing in the window, a face behind me in the mirror. But I hadn't seen anything when I took the shot. Then, there was the bathroom mirror. It fogged up at night, even though I never used the shower. And in that fog, someone had written with a finger, "You still haven't really seen me." I tried to leave. I drove for an hour. Eventually, I reached an old wooden sign. "Cabin, 2 kilometers." I turned around, drove another way, got back to the same spot, the same road, the cabin, like the world had folded itself into a loop. I went straight to my room. The journal was open, even though I had closed it. A new page had been added. "This is how it starts. It always starts this way." The next night, the knocks came again. Louder this time. Not 3. 6. Then 9. And then, the voice. My mother's voice. Soft. Gentle. "Open the door, sweetheart. It's dark down here." I moved toward the basement door, my hand on the doorknob. Then I heard my own voice. Screaming. Begging. "Don't open it. That's not me." I opened the door. Stairs leading into darkness. No light. No switch. But on the floor were wet footprints. As if someone had just come up from below. And those prints led toward my bedroom. I followed, but slower now. My breath shallow. Each step echoed strangely, as if the house were amplifying my fear. As I reached my bedroom door, it creaked open by itself. Inside, the window was shut tight, but the curtain fluttered like something had just passed by. Then I heard it. Breathing. My own breathing, but not quite. It was slower. Labored. Like someone mimicking me. I stepped in. The floorboards groaned beneath me. In the mirror above the dresser, my reflection stood still, but I had not. It was staring straight at me. It raised its hand slowly, palm open. I didn't. And then, slowly, its lips parted in a smile, a cruel, knowing smile. I backed away, but the reflection didn't. It just stood there watching. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the reflection began to whisper. At first, I couldn't hear it. I leaned in. It was saying my name, over and over. But each time, it sounded less human, more distorted, as if something ancient was trying to wrap itself around the sound of my name. Then it stopped. Everything stopped, and the mirror shattered from the inside.